Good morning, everybody. It's been 8 weeks since my surgery now. Not exactly 2 months, but 8 weeks. Still in therapy, and I'm gaining a little every day. They wanted to throw me back in there and do a manipulation. That's where they knock you out again and stick probes in there and knock all the scar tissue loose. Well, I declined on that. Matter of fact, I declined adamantly, as the doctor wrote down in his notes. Adamantly, they wasn't going to operate on me again. My goal, everybody's goal, I guess, is 120% movement on your leg from 0 to 120. So I have 0, straighten out, and I have 112 on one leg, and I have 98 on the other. And I've been gaining, like I said, 1-2 degrees every 2 or 3 days when I go back to the therapist and get it checked out. So I think I made the right call there. I just don't want no more operations. I'll tell you, this one operation, man, that was enough. Still, I'm walking, and as you can see behind me, this is my first trip around the park. The therapist told me it's time to get out and do the walking around the parks and stuff, and keep things moving. Everything he tells me to do, I do. So I haven't been just sitting around doing nothing. So I'm going to show you a couple pictures here of what I've been doing. I've took the washer-dryer combo unit and installed that in my RV. All this I had help with, because there's no way I could lift that son of a gun. Matter of fact, it took two strong boys to lift that and put it in the RV. But you can see it fit pretty nicely. Hank, stay. I'm having a problem with my dog trying to jerk me off my feet every time he sees a squirrel. No! And he does that. So anyway, we got that put in there, and then we, there's Hank, checking out that squirrel. Got that put in there, and I plumbed it so I can put in another pump, and I could bring up spring water from the creek. If I'm boondocking somewhere next to a creek, I can feed it through a separate hose, just cold water, but that way I don't use any drinking water when I'm boondocking. That's like if I'm boondocking for a month or so, I'm going to want to wash my drawers or something. But there's the plumbing hookup for that. I've got 2 going into the cold and 1 from hot. One of the ones from the cold will go down into the basement where the pump will be. I haven't got that yet, but I'll put pictures of that on there later. The second thing I did is went for a drive in my pickup finally, was able to get up into it, and come to find out it's easier to get into it than it is my wife's little Jeep. Should have been using it all along. But I driving in my pickup, I heard the screeching sound and I knew what it was. So I've been able to do a complete brake job on my pickup. I have a stool that I sat on and worked around, and it worked quite well. And got all the brakes, new brakes on them. Had to get a new rotor. Did that. Well, this is what my brake shoe looked like. I had no screechy device on it, or I wore it all the way down. Looks like it came all the way off, broke. But that totally ruined my rear rotor right there. And I've already thrown the rotor away. I don't know why this was still laying around, but it's going in the trash too. So we got brand new brakes. I knew I needed brakes because I could feel the pedal was getting soft. But here's the tires I talk about later. The good one, good shape. The bad one is down to the wear bars, and I don't wear tires after that. That's why this this bike here is up on the stand. It's going to get a new tire at the end of the month. Have not tried to ride this yet. Have not even tried to get on it yet. No need. I'm not riding it till June, which is next month. I want to ride around town, make sure I can ride it and balance it and such. But I need a new rear tire. I'm going to get that on there. I'll put a video on how to change your rear tire. Some of you may find that one interesting. But one of my friends says if I don't get my leg bending as far as I need it to bend, I'm going to have a hard time getting that kickstand right there, getting my foot from up there back there. I think I can do it already. Like I said, I haven't been on it yet. But unfortunately, my left leg, which would be the leg on this side, is the weakest. And I've got to be able to push the bike up center, off kickstand, push kickstand down, back up underneath it, and ride it. And I ain't doing anything till I can do that plenty times sitting here in the garage, naturally. What else have I done? Oh yeah, hold still, camera. I also had to rebuild this receiver hitch. If you'll remember some of my videos, I put a toolbox on the back of my RV and then put my generator in there. Well, the problem was, it said it was rated for 200 pounds, and that was not 200 pounds, but going down the road, it was doing this. And I know what happens when metal does that long enough. Well, it should not do that no more. I've rebraced the flimsy 1.5-inch tubing they had that was 1/8 inch thick or something. It was very inadequate. And you can see what I did here. I've welded a 2x2 1/4-inch thick tubing to the back of that with struts going over to the front so it won't bend anymore. It would be sturdy enough to pull a trailer, but I left a small hitch on there because I don't want to pull a trailer, and if I sell it, I don't want nobody else pulling a trailer with it. It's just too long and too dangerous. I welded it, so I'd be liable, and I don't want to be liable. So if they want to modify it, they can. So I got that done. And now this weekend, my air conditioning has gone out again, or going out. We can't find the leak anywhere, so it's apparently under the dash. So if I can just fill that up for $20 or $30 a year, I'm going to do that rather than take that dang dash off. If you've seen any of the Dodge Cummins dash removals, you'll know why. That's a pain in the butt. So we're going to get that fixed this weekend. I won't do much about that. We're going to drive it over and my nephew will fix that. We're going to get new tires put on it because one of my tires went bad. One. So I've got 3 other good tires on there. And I can't find one on the internet. None of the tire shops have them anymore because when I put those on, didn't know it, but they were obsolete. They don't make them no more. So I can't find one anywhere. Not used, new, nothing. So I'm having to buy a complete set. And then I'll put the other 3 on the internet and hopefully maybe somebody else will be looking for one and sell it. But that's not an expense I was hoping to go through. Buy a whole full set of tires just because I can't replace one. That'll be happening this weekend. So that's what I've been doing. Plus I've been doing all my exercises, trying to get my bend back. Slowly happening. But I'm still up in the air whether I'd... Stop! Hang on, dog's trying to wrestle me. Hey, get back over here. Yep, he's got me tied up. I may not go nowhere. I may be tied to this bench the rest of my life. Back to the knee thing. I don't know. I've never experienced anything so rough in my life. Right now I've got carpal tunnel from just using that dang walker for about 2 weeks. It damaged the carpal tunnel in both hands. So realistically, they probably need to be operated on. But I'm a long ways away from wanting to do any operations again. So, well, Hank's gonna jerk me off this thing any minute. Stay tuned. I'm sorry I didn't take more videos of the stuff I did because I was busy. Didn't want to film it. I had people helping me to lift that thing up, and the washer and dryer combination, that was heavy. Way heavier than any other one I've ever lifted. So enjoy. Thanks for following me. I see you when I can. Bye.